The beloved British sitcom As Time Goes By warmed the hearts of millions with its charming stories of love and friendship. Yet, behind the laughter and tenderness that defined the show lies a more somber truth. Over the years, 22 members of its talented cast have passed away, some after long battles with illness, others through unexpected tragedy. This reflection looks beyond the screen, honoring those who brought the series to life while revealing the quiet struggles that shadowed their later years. Their journeys remind us that fame and laughter often coexist with pain and fragility. Though time has moved on, the legacy they left behind continues to resonate with audiences across generations. Geoffrey Palmer, the gentleman of British television. Born on June 4, 1927, in London, Geoffrey Palmer, who portrayed the unforgettable Lionel Hardcastle in As Time Goes By, 1992, didn't begin his career in show business. Before finding his calling as an actor, he worked briefly in banking and later served with the Royal Marines during World War II. After the war, he followed his passion for performance and trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA. Palmer's portrayal of Lionel, with his dry wit and calm charm, perfectly complemented Judi Dench's character, making the duo one of British television's most iconic pairs. Away from the spotlight, he enjoyed a peaceful family life with his wife, former actress Sally Green, and their 2 children, Charles and Harriet. In his later years, however, Palmer endured the loss of several close friends and faced serious health challenges. He suffered from Parkinson's disease and macular degeneration, conditions that gradually took away his independence. Despite these struggles, he remained admired for his dignity and warmth. Geoffrey Palmer passed away peacefully on November 5, 2020, at the age of 93, leaving behind a legacy of intelligence, humor, and grace that defined an era of British television. Vivian Martin, the strong spirit of British television. Vivian Martin, born on December 28, 1930, in London, showed a love for performing from an early age. Determined to pursue acting, she trained at the Webber Douglas Academy of Dramatic Art and soon became a recognizable face on British television. Her standout performance in The Brothers established her reputation for portraying strong, resilient women, characters who reflected her own tenacity in life. Behind the scenes, however, Martin's journey was far from easy. She married a fellow actor and had 2 children, but their relationship gradually deteriorated under the strain of career pressures and emotional distance. After their divorce, Martin devoted herself fully to raising her children, though her bond with her eldest son weakened after he moved overseas. In her later years, Martin faced chronic health issues that limited her ability to perform. These challenges led to financial hardship and a growing sense of isolation, though she remained admired for her professionalism and strength. Vivian Martin passed away on January 22, 2023, at the age of 92. Her enduring spirit and remarkable performances continue to remind audiences of her quiet power and resilience. Miranda Forbes, 1946–2001. Born on August 11, 1946, in the lively city of London, Miranda Forbes grew up with a strong passion for performance. From an early age, she displayed remarkable dramatic talent that eventually led her to a successful career in British television. One of her most memorable roles came in As Time Goes By, 1993, where she portrayed Phyllis Loader with warmth and depth. Off-screen, Forbes's personal life was often turbulent. She married and had 2 children, but her relationship with her husband was strained by financial pressures and disagreements over their careers. Despite the constant friction, they chose to stay together for the sake of their children. Life took a heartbreaking turn when her daughter, Emily, developed a serious illness that required ongoing care. Forbes struggled to balance her acting commitments with the heavy emotional toll of being a caregiver. Unknown to many, Forbes was also battling cancer in silence. She continued working quietly for as long as she could, determined not to let her illness define her. Sadly, as her health declined in her early 50s, her condition became irreversible. Miranda Forbes passed away on June 14, 2001, at the age of 54, leaving behind a legacy of talent and quiet resilience. Frank Middlemass, the warm smile behind the quiet solitude. Frank Middlemass, born on May 28, 1919, won audiences over as the ever-cheerful Rocky Hardcastle in As Time Goes By, 1993. Raised in a conservative London household, he felt drawn to the arts from a young age and eventually studied at the Central School of Speech and Drama. With his natural charm and impeccable timing, Middlemass became a beloved figure on both stage and screen. Off-camera, however, his life was marked by solitude. He never married, and although he had several long-term relationships, they often ended in heartbreak. He had no children and spent much of his later life alone. Arthritis plagued him in his final years, making even simple movements painful and forcing him to give up acting, the craft he loved most. Despite his struggles, Middlemass remained remembered for the warmth he brought to every role. He passed away on September 8, 2006, at the age of 87. Though his final years were quiet, his legacy as a gentle, gifted performer continues to live on through his work, a reminder that even the brightest smiles can hide lives of quiet endurance. Jeremy Sinden, 1950 to 1996. Jeremy Sinden, born on June 14, 1950, came from one of Britain's well-known acting families, his father, Donald Sinden, being a celebrated stage and screen performer. Raised in London, Jeremy followed in his father's footsteps, training at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, LAMDA, before embarking on a successful career in theatre and television. His performance in The Royal Hunt of the Sun became one of his career-defining moments, showcasing his intensity and depth as an actor. In 1996, he appeared in As Time Goes By as Alan, further establishing his versatility. Offstage, Sinden built a loving family with actress Delia Lindsay, and the couple had 2 children. However, his promising life was cut short by a diagnosis of lung cancer. As the illness progressed, he faced deep emotional struggles, mourning the loss of his vitality and career momentum. Despite his fight, the disease advanced rapidly, and on May 29, 1996, Jeremy Sinden passed away at only 45 years old, leaving behind a grieving family and a legacy of exceptional artistry. Angela Score, 1945 to 2011. Angela Score, born on November 8, 1945, in London, was a gifted actress remembered for her captivating presence in both film and television. She achieved early fame through her roles in the James Bond classics On Her Majesty's Secret Service and Casino Royale. Her career thrived throughout the 1960s and 1970s, and she later appeared in As Time Goes By, 1996, as Glennice. Behind the scenes, Score's life was marked by personal battles. She was married to fellow actor Leslie Phillips, and together they raised 2 children. Yet, her lifelong struggle with bipolar disorder cast a shadow over her happiness. Despite her husband's steadfast support, Score faced cycles of depression and instability that deeply affected her well-being and family life. In her later years, declining health and emotional pain became overwhelming. Tragically, on April 11, 2011, Angela Score's life came to a heartbreaking end after ingesting a corrosive substance. She was 65. Her death brought immense sorrow to her family and served as a poignant reminder of the silent battles many endure, underscoring the importance of compassion and mental health awareness. Paul Rogers, 1917 to 2013. Paul Rogers, born on March 22, 1917, in Plympton, Devon, discovered his love for performing at a young age and went on to refine his craft at the Michael Chekhov Theatre Studio. Over the decades, he built an extraordinary reputation on stage, admired for his commanding voice and presence. Among his many achievements, his Tony Award-winning performance in The Homecoming stood as a testament to his immense talent and dedication to the craft. In his personal life, Rogers was married to Muriel Jocelyn, and together they had 1 child. However, the constant demands of his theatrical career often put strain on their relationship. As he grew older, declining health began to limit his ability to work, and the loss of several close friends within the acting community left him with a deep sense of solitude. Still, his love for the stage never faded. He continued performing whenever possible, embodying the perseverance of a true artist. Paul Rogers passed away peacefully on October 6, 2013, at the age of 96. His passing marked the end of a remarkable era in theater, a man remembered not only for his brilliance but also for the quiet loneliness that often shadows a life spent under the spotlight. Moira Fraser, the dancer who hid her pain behind grace. Born on December 3, 1923, in Sydney, Australia, Moira Fraser spent her early years in a strict household where discipline ruled every aspect of life. Ballet became her only refuge, a world where she could express herself freely. Her exceptional talent led her to a professional dancing career before she transitioned into acting during the 1950s, a move that introduced her to British stage and television audiences. Fraser's personal life, however, was far less harmonious. Her first marriage to pianist Peter Norris brought her 2 children, Philip and Sally, but it eventually ended. Her second marriage to actor Leo Maguire also dissolved, leaving her emotionally devastated. In her later years, Fraser endured severe osteoporosis that caused chronic pain and gradually stole her mobility. Tragedy struck again when her daughter Sally was killed in a car accident, a loss that deeply scarred her emotionally. Despite the warmth and vitality she projected in her performances, Fraser's private life was filled with quiet suffering. She battled depression and often withdrew from those closest to her. Moira Fraser passed away on December 13, 2009, at the age of 86. Though her final years were marked by pain and solitude, her legacy endures through the elegance and humanity she brought to every role. Joan Sims, the Queen of Laughter with a Lonely Heart. Joan Sims, born on May 9, 1930, in Laindon, Essex, grew up in modest surroundings and often described her early years as lonely. The stage became her sanctuary. She later trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, where her quick wit and expressive face made her a natural comedian. Sims rose to fame through the Carry On film series, becoming one of the most beloved comic actresses in Britain. Yet, away from the laughter, her life was colored by self-doubt and emotional struggles. She never married and often spoke candidly about her fear of intimacy and feelings of inadequacy, vulnerabilities that shadowed her throughout her life. As she aged, her health began to fail. Arthritis limited her movement, and she fell into depression, compounded by the loss of many of her Carry On co-stars. She also battled alcoholism, which worsened her physical decline. Joan Sims spent her final years in a nursing home, far removed from the bright lights of comedy that once defined her. She passed away on June 27, 2001, at the age of 71, after complications related to diverticulitis. Though her later life was quiet and filled with pain, her brilliant comedic spirit continues to inspire generations of British performers. Marcus D'Amico, 1965–2020. Born on December 4, 1965, in Frankfurt, Germany, Marcus D'Amico grew up surrounded by diverse cultures that shaped his creative outlook. Moving to the United Kingdom to pursue acting, he quickly gained attention for his emotional depth and versatility. His portrayal of Michael Tolliver in Tales of the City became a defining moment in his career, allowing him to explore profound themes of love, loss, and identity. While D'Amico's professional life thrived, his personal world remained largely private. He never married and had no children, choosing instead to dedicate his energy and emotion to his work. In later years, his health began to decline due to severe respiratory problems, which led to extended periods of seclusion. As his illness worsened, loneliness increasingly surrounded him, even as fans remembered him for the warmth and sincerity he brought to his roles. Marcus D'Amico passed away on December 16, 2020, at just 55 years old, from complications related to pneumonia. His death was a heartbreaking loss for those who admired his artistry and quiet strength. Ronnie Stevens, 1925–2006. Ronnie Stevens, born on September 2, 1925, in London, was a gifted entertainer whose humor and charisma made him a beloved figure in British television. His career spanned decades, with notable appearances across stage and screen, including the popular children's show Four Feather Falls, where his comedic timing and charm endeared him to audiences of all ages. Away from the spotlight, Stevens lived a fulfilling family life. He was happily married and a devoted father to 2 children. Yet, his later years were overshadowed by the devastating effects of Alzheimer's disease. The condition slowly eroded his memory and independence, leaving his loved ones to face the painful reality of watching the man they knew fade away. Despite the care and affection that surrounded him, the illness took its toll. Ronnie Stevens passed away on November 11, 2006, at the age of 81. His life remains celebrated for the laughter he brought to millions, and remembered with tenderness for the courage he showed in his final years. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in As Time Goes By, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.